What's going on, everybody? It's Meshi from Path to Wellness with Meshi. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. We are chatting about something fairly important. It only impacts our planet, so you know, who needs to know about that? So I wanted to talk to you guys about something fairly important, about a lifestyle that I'm currently learning about, and maybe give you some tips on how you can actually get started with that as well, and why you should care. So if you are interested about learning about eco-living, reducing your consumption, and why that really matters, and how my journey has started, then just stay tuned and let's get started. It might be something where it'll just make you roll your eyes, or it might be something that you look at and be like, wow, I had no idea. A quick reminder for you that if you wanted to get updates from me on a weekly basis, because I do share a video at least 3 times a week at this point on this YouTube channel. So if you wanted to get a recap of the weekly videos that I have released and what the best takeaways were and what's going to be coming out next week, if you're, wanted to see when certain videos are coming out and you wanted to kind of get just what the schedule is looking like, and also get some special offers and exclusive behind the scene footage that I might not be showing here on this YouTube channel, then you can sign up for that completely free. It's completely complimentary, and I left the link down in the description. Now, without further ado, let's get started with the video. So as you can tell, I'm wearing a shirt that says, "This tea gives clean water." So this is from Me to We, and you can buy their t-shirts, and they do have a giving back component where it basically purchases, or it contributes to purchasing it gives water supply to a family for a full year, all because you buy the t-shirt. So if any of you are wondering. But in today's video, I really wanted to talk to you about just the way that we're living and why that really matters, because a lot of us are, if you are here, then that means that you are interested in living a more holistically driven lifestyle. You wanted to live a more conscious lifestyle where you understand that what you do, your actions and your choices, they impact not only yourself but your entire environment and the people that are around you. And if you understand that, then you already probably are aware of a lot of the heavy waste that we leave behind with our current fast-driven lifestyle. So, if you have seen my previous videos where I talk to you about monthly favorites and that sort of thing, I do talk briefly about why this is becoming fairly important to me. And it has a lot to do with just the simple fact that when you start cleansing your environment, you start managing your environment, and you understand that not only everything is energy, everything that you take in is energy, everything that you think is energy, but also the way that you relate to the things that you possess and the way that you treat things and people is also a form of energy. So when you make a commitment to raising your vibration, then you start becoming a little bit more conscious about the choices that you make. And it's not to say that everybody's going to become an environmentalist, or that there should be guilt and shame attached to the poor choices that you may have made in the past, because let's just take a moment, take stock of all of the amazing things that we're already doing, but then also let's take a look at what are some of the areas in our lives that actually need some help. And what can we do? What little things can we do and implement today? Not next week, not after you lost the 10 pounds or after you've gone to the 5 yoga classes, but today. What can you do today that will impact a positive change? And this is what we're going to be talking about today. So as I went through cleansing, I went through category by category. I started cleansing my own environment, and I realized not only as I was cleansing a lot of my makeup products out, which I have created a review about a lot of the green beauty products that I just released yesterday. I will be leaving the link in the description if you wanted to take a look at that. But it goes a little bit deeper than just makeup. It goes into everything that your body comes in contact with. And I realized how much waste we're producing. So I wanted to kind of take a look and see, can we make some simple and basic changes? Let's talk a little bit about impact and the environment. And I'm not an environmentalist. clearly. I'm a massage therapist. I did get a lot of my facts out of certain resources, so I will list them down in the description if you ever wanted to take a look. But basically, here's where we're at. And this is not coming from a place of judgment, and I'll explain what I mean by this. So when we're looking at when you're looking at your choices, this will impact the way that you eat. So we talked about the way that you eat, the way that you're consuming livestock that currently are in, it could be in organic farms, but also in factory farmed animals. They take like 70% of the land for livestock production is in agricultural land. So what that means is that we're basically taking down forests so that we can grow the feed for the animals that we're keeping in factory farms. This will also impact the water supply. It also impacts communities because we're impacting their culture, and for them to have access to clean drinking water and bathing water. And it also impacts the soil because we're reducing the quality of the soil as well. It impacts our oceans. If you're looking at just plastic on its own, the plastic consumption is ridiculous because plastic is in pretty much everything, and unfortunately it leaves really toxic gases behind, which is really harmful, and it can potentially kill animals. It can also harm us as well. So about 700 different marine species are at risk at the current moment because of how much we're polluting our oceans. And about 1 billion plastic bags are currently being used. And out of that, we're only able to recycle about 23% of that. You can actually, and this is just Canada alone. So some of the statistics that I'm sharing with you, this is just Canada. I haven't even touched on US or on the global markets. So when you're looking at some of your choices, then you're starting to understand that the things that you do, the choices that you make are so much bigger, and you can choose to ignore them, and you can live in denial. I would recommend not to. And I'm not saying you should go out there and save the world and everybody should become vegan and we're all going to have hippie braids and we're going to save the world. But what I am saying is just get a little bit more educated about some of the choices that you're making currently and see if you can reduce in a small or big way your own carbon footprint that you're leaving behind. So this is sort of where zero waste and eco living sort of came into my life. And I started looking at some of the plastic facts. I looked at how factory farming impacts our environment, how it impacts our water supply, how much water, and most people actually, it was so interesting as I was researching the topics for this video. Most people think water consumption as in how much time you spend in the bath, how much time you spend in the shower, where actually you need to start looking at how much water is being used in order for you to be able to consume the food that you're consuming. And I mean, when you're looking at the gallons, once you realize that some of the foods that you are currently consuming, whether that's beef, chicken, pork, tofu, peanut butter, it doesn't matter, lentils, they all need water for them to grow and for them to be produced, and also they leave a carbon footprint behind. So if you're able to consume foods that leave a lower carbon footprint behind, then you're actually moving towards creating change in a more positive direction. So where does that leave us, and why am I talking to you about this? Well, I wanted to talk to you about this because I wanted to show you a couple of different ways that you can actually start reducing your consumption today, and how I'm doing that with my own lifestyle. And I mean, I will say it's a process. So what that means is that everything that I'm going to be showing you in today's video, I don't want you to go out there and buy it. Like, you totally can, but the point of this video is to really just open your eyes and then just start asking some basic questions of, can I do this differently, or do I still have to do it like this? And the eco living is definitely going to be a complete series where I will give you some tips and recommendations of how I'm going to be doing gift giving and how you can make small changes that create a larger impact. So, because I feel like more people need to talk about this, and they don't need to talk about this whether we're looking at food choices or we're looking at consumption or we're looking at use of plastic or waste. I don't feel like the best way to really impact change is by being righteous and telling you how wasteful and terrible we are. I think that we need to start by living by example. So this is what I wanted to show you today. I picked up a few things from various different places. Some of it came from Amazon, some of it came from my local natural food store, and others came from Etsy. So don't worry, as I'm showing it to you, I will leave a link down in the description if you wanted to check them out. And let me take you into my kitchen so that we can check those out. Okay, let's go. Wow, so welcome to my kitchen. First of all, this is interesting. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you about like just a couple of very basic ways that you can start incorporating eco-living into your lifestyle and see if that resonates with you. But like, let me just break this down. So I gave you a little bit of stats earlier, but let me just break this down in a very tangible way that kind of drove things home for me, okay? Let's say you work at a job and you eat out twice, okay? Like, I'm not even talking about, you know, eating out every single day, but let's just say that you eat out only twice a week to go out for lunch. And let's say that you go to a restaurant where they give you a bowl of food and then they put a plastic lid on top of it so that it keeps it warm. Then let's say that you have a plastic knife and a plastic fork, and then you get a drink in a plastic cup with a plastic lid with a plastic straw. And then after you've consumed your meal, then you go to another restaurant where you buy a coffee. Okay, let's just do the math on this, okay? And I wanted to break this down to you like this so you understand what I'm talking about. Because I can talk to you about marine life and I can talk to you about plastic bags all day long, but honestly, this is what drove it home for me when I decided that, oh my gosh, like I can't believe how much waste we're creating just by making, you know, unconscious choices, like not intentional choices. So let's add this up, okay? You go to a restaurant, you have a plastic lid, that's one. You have a plastic fork and a plastic knife, and you have maybe, I'm not even going to count the napkin. I'm assuming that the napkin is eco-friendly and it is on recycled paper, okay? But so you have your plate, you have your cutlery with your fork and your knife, and you have your plastic cup with a plastic lid and a plastic straw. Then you go to another place where you have a hopefully recycled, but if it's lined with plastic, cup and the sleeve which has a glue around it that holds it together, and you have a lid and maybe a plastic little stopper so that your drinks or whatever is not spilling. That's 10. You guys, let's say you go out with someone, that's 20 because they're consuming the same thing. Times that by 52 and then you understand where I'm coming from. And I'm not telling you this to make you feel bad. I'm telling you this because I was doing that for like 2 weeks ago. So I decided, well, what if we got rid of straws? Okay, if you get rid of straws, then that's one less waste that's being used. And what if we got rid of cutlery? Okay, how are you going to take that cutlery? So this is where my journey sort of began, where I started hunting for eco-friendly changes and swaps that I could make just for lunch. Because when you're looking at your lifestyle and when you're looking at some of the products that I'm going to be showing you, you're probably going to be like, oh my gosh, I need this in my life. But also, how much money do I need to spend just so that I can get started with this? And I realized that the point is not for you to go out and buy all the things. Remember, it's not about buying all the things. It's just about thinking about the things that you use in a different way. Well, first of all, can you eat at home? Like, can you prepare your lunch at home? And if you can't, or you don't have the time, or you haven't made the time, or you're rushing out the door first thing in the morning, that's totally cool. Can you go somewhere where they are using recyclable, or can you eat in that restaurant where they're actually using a plate with normal cutlery, with stainless steel cutlery? Because that already reduces your consumption, which means that you don't need to take anything with you. But here's what I did. I started with straws. I'm going to be showing you two different types of straws that I picked up. One is just a very basic, it's a thicker type of like slide bend in their stainless steel straw. So I picked this up from a grocery store that's going to be opening up here in Waterloo as a zero waste grocery store. And then I also picked up a little kit. This is a 6-pack that comes with like a little silicone holder, and it also came with a little brush. You can't see the brush right now because I actually packed it for lunch for my daughter. But we started with straws because every single time that I drank a smoothie, it came with a straw and I wanted to replace the straw. I don't know why the straw was a thing for me, but I figured if we can save some turtles by actually just using stainless steel straws, so be it. And the thing is that you're not gonna be using straws at home. At first I thought, I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna use straws at home. No, you're not. You're going to be using them when you're outside of your house. So then I thought, well, we need something that we can put the thing in so that it doesn't get dirty. And so this is where me picking this up has been life-changing. I will do a close-up so you can take a look. But basically, this kind of holds everything. And I thought that this was like the greatest idea ever. So it's basically a fabric sleeve. Hang on, I'm trying to hold it so you can kind of take a look. So this is where you put in your cutlery. This is like a bigger sleeve where you can put in like paper towels or whatever, or like your reusable towels. And then the whole thing just kind of rolls up, and then you can close it off, and then you just throw this in your purse or throw this in your car. And then whenever you go out, then you have your cutlery ready to go. You bring it home at the end of the day, you wash it, and then you put it back into your car. So little switches like that make a big difference, because then you go from consuming 10 different waste items, like you're producing 10 different waste products, to now producing none. Or maybe the only thing that you're producing is really just you're using the napkin. But the thing is, I will actually show you, I also picked up some reusable paper towels. They're not paper. They're little cute little, I mean, can we even? I mean, honestly. So I do have a few more things that are coming. So if you want to see a haul, an eco-friendly haul, I'm totally happy to do that for you. But for today, I really just wanted to touch on like just very basic things that you can do that would reduce your consumption. And I really wanted to just start this series off with why is it important? Because honestly, honestly. So I do have a few more things that are coming. So if you want to see a haul, an eco-friendly haul, I'm totally happy to do that for you. But for today, I really just wanted to touch on like just very basic things that you can do that would reduce your consumption. And I really wanted to just start this series off with why is it important? Because honestly, I can show you all the things that I buy, but then if we go back to the whole consumerism thing again, versus I can explain why, and then you can start looking in your own home for things that you can use so then you don't, produce waste. Another thing that we also replaced is actually our plastic lunch containers. And I replaced it for my daughter, and I also replaced it for myself as well. And we switched over to stainless steel. And the reason why I did is because it's not going to be, seeping with chemicals and with bacteria. So easy to clean, you just wash it out with soap and water, and then you're good to go. But it keeps it cold if you want it to keep it cold. But the main thing is that whenever you're using plastic, it just creates more waste for like absolutely no reason. So when I first introduced this idea to my husband, he thought that I'm crazy, and he thought that this is like the dumbest idea. Like, why would you ever want to take your own cutlery with you and your own straws? But I want to take you one step further. What if you buy the straws, let's say you buy 7 or 8 straws. I mean, like this alone comes in a kit of 6. And then you buy a couple more, like they're super inexpensive. But then your kid has a birthday party, and then you end up using reusable straws. And you're not using water bottles, but you're just basically bringing silicone cups or reusable cups, and then that's what the kids drink. So I think it's more important to understand how you're going to be using these tools and why you should use these tools versus buy this and buy this and buy this. But I mean, just do the math in your own home, and I will take you on a tour of like just basic swaps that I have made that have helped me tremendously to reduce my waste consumption. And like I said, it's definitely a process, but I wanted to show you the straws, and I wanted to show you the cutlery holder just so that it gets you thinking a little bit differently about the waste that you are creating or the waste that you can be reducing in your own life. And I really didn't want to create this video as a rant or as something where it just comes across as completely righteous, like look how great I'm doing and look how crappy you're doing, because I don't think that we can really impact change that way. I think that the more educated we become as a whole and we come together as a community to support one another, I think that we can all go a whole lot further, rather than to say, well, are you still eating meat? Well, then you're a terrible person. No. I think that everybody needs to make, like, the food will be another series if you want to see one on, you know, some of the eating styles that I have personally tried out and why I chosen the one that I have chosen, because I don't think that it's as simple as that's the best one, and if you're not doing that one, then you're doing it wrong. I don't think it's a right or wrong question. I think it's more about just being educated and making more conscious choices that are right for you. But I think that the more you understand the short-term and long-term impact on your choices, the more you can make better choices. See how there's like a theme going on when I provide you with some information and then you actually become empowered because you can make your own choices? Yes, that's what we're all about here. I feel like I should be sharing more with you, actually. So another thing that I'm also waiting on is our coffee cup. I will just insert a little clip here so you can take a look, but that's coming, and if you wanted to see it in action, it's going to be coming really soon. But for now, the big thing that we have changed is our paper towels, so that we have reusable paper towels. You can also use this as napkins, which is perfect. We changed, basically with this guy, I just filled it up with the straw cleaner, the straw, and also the cutlery, and I just put in 2 sets of cutleries. I throw this in my car and then we're good to go. But we also brought big jugs. Most of you have your water bottle, which is totally cool. These are great. They are insulated. Everything is good to go. It's, you know, stainless steel on the inside, and I love the Hydro Flask ones. But you're probably not going to be taking this with you to a restaurant. So I started keeping my kombucha bottles whenever I buy them. And again, like, there's no plastic here. Basically, this is glass, and I don't know what this is, whatever. But I just wash these out, so I just end up reusing them. I fill this up with water and I leave this in my car. Not right now, because right now it's like freezing outside, but in the morning I usually just leave it in my car. Then that way, whenever we go out somewhere, then I have at least half a liter of water just waiting for me, so I don't have to go and buy a drink, or I don't have to go and buy a water. I've done this with my husband when we went out for lunch. I think I posted a picture of it on my Instagram, and depending on where you go, you can actually ask whenever you're eating out if you can get a plate instead of a paper plate. And most restaurants will have it. Most restaurants will have, like, if they have an eating section, then you can actually ask them to just put it into a normal plate. And it was just amazing. So if you have seen my Instagram just recently, you can go and check it out. I might just insert a picture here so that you can see exactly which image I'm talking about. But it was so nice, where really I went from, you know, consuming all of this, well, producing all of this waste, to basically bringing it down next to nothing. So it becomes really cool and really empowering. And most restaurants, when you eat out, they will have a bathroom where you can go and wash your cutlery and wrap it up, and then you're good to go. I will say it is a little bit more work. It takes you an extra few minutes to do this, but the impact is tremendous. And the more often you can do this, the more often you can kind of plan in advance. I mean, things like just taking your own bags with you. I started leaving my bags at the front door whenever I go out. I make sure that I just leave it in my car, so if I go grocery shopping, then I'm not, you know, I'm not buying more plastic bags when I really don't need them. You can also buy bags that you put your produce in, so produce bags are excellent. I will be buying more of them, just so that if I'm buying different vegetables, I can just kind of plug them in, and then I don't have to use the plastic bags that they provide you with at the grocery store. Keep in mind, there's also going to be a zero waste grocery store coming up in Waterloo, which I'm so excited about, because I think that it will definitely create a movement where people become a lot more conscious and they want to make an effort to reduce their consumption. Now that I have rambled on for 10 hours, this is all I wanted to share with you for today. I hope you found this helpful. I hope you found this useful. If you did, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. And if you feel so moved, you can also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so that you get all of the notifications whenever I release a new video. Also, something new that I started doing just recently, if you have watched a few of my recent videos, then you already know what I'm about to tell you, but I am releasing weekly updates and recaps of each of my videos that I released during the week. So I give you some of the best takeaways, the best behind the scenes and exclusive offers if there are any. And I also give you a lowdown of what's coming up for the following week. And that's super helpful for a lot of you, as you told me, because sometimes I talk about eco-living, like this video. Sometimes I talk about green beauty. Sometimes I talk to you about how to manage your stress and anxiety with things like art therapy and bullet journaling, or just mindset shift and mindfulness practices. So because I go into a few different topics that all kind of help you just feel a little bit more educated and more empowered, that's why I started doing the weekly recap, and most of you have been loving it. Completely free, completely complimentary. Feel free to sign up for it. I left the link down in the description if you wanted to check it out. And as usual, just keep seeking wellness seekers, and I will see you again in my next video. Bye.
Can you see the little message? Wait, wait, wait. Fair warning, everybody. I am holding a crystal because there might be a rant alert. I don't know. Maybe. We'll find out. I feel like we need to change. Oh, here we go. There we go. I totally had the camera wrong. Anyways, we're learning, guys. No problem.